So I'm going to go back just a few slides to show the links for the AI. So using AI, and it's using AI with all these sort of posters and making lists into AI things. So there's the 9-year-old boy. Next one that I want to show is this one. You can turn it into a rap. So that 9-year-old boy, it says, yo, I'm not very good at rapping, so forgive me for my rapping skills. Yo, listen up to a tale I'm about to share about a 9-year-old boy with joy in the air, feeling better with love to spare, mum and dad's hugs, a feeling so rare. Treats on the table, a sweet surprise, sugar-coated dreams reaching the skies. Charlie Monkey, the soft toy so fly, hugs all around, making spirits high. Confidence soaring like a superhero's might. He believes he can do it, do anything. That's right. Good stuff he does. Kindness in his sight, spreading joy and smiles, taking flight. So again, just it's amazing. I just think, wow, what a tool that's useful for turning the poems into raps, and you can do it into songs. I do things like this one as well. This is help a 9-year-old girl. Oh, oops, go back. Help a 9-year-old girl who's anxious about leaving her mum. She finds fidgeting, listening to Ed Sheeran, singing in her head, cuddling her teddies, or playing with her friends and her dog. Buster helps. So it says, here I'm here to help. It's completely normal to feel anxious about leaving your mum, especially at your young age. I can suggest a few things for coping with your anxiety. Talk to your mum, create routines. And it's just, again, it's doing myself out of a job, but it's like, actually, this is not a bad thing because we're reinforcing it in a conversation, and this is giving good advice. And then I can say, how about as a poem? In a world of worries, a little girl stands. Anxiety grips her heart, tightening like bands. But fear not, little child, for help is here, a guiding hand to calm your trembling fear. When leaving your mum feels like a daunting task, embrace these remedies. Let your anxiousness unmask. Fidget with your hands, let them dance and sway. Find solace in motion as worries fade away. And listen to Ed Sheeran, his melody so sweet. Let the music carry on to a place of retreat. This is an original poem that no one else has seen, and she can see her ideas in this as well. Then adding solution focused into that as well. So I said, using the solution focused approach. So it said here, and it's still got this like a poem, isn't it? Just trying to move that out of the way. In a night, if in the night, and this is kind of weird because it put it in and it's kept it into a poem as well. It's like a, if in the night, while stars twinkle bright, a miracle happens that make things just right. What would you see and what would you wake in delight? Exception questions. Can you recall a night so serene when you slept like a queen? What made that night different, like a dream in between? When you feel strong and brave like a knight, do you sometimes find things just go right? And on a scaling questions, on a scale from 1 to 10, where 1 being hard and 10 being when you sleep through the night without a peep or a sigh, where would you place yourself and why? Just I couldn't do that. My mind is not that quick. But this is kind of like, I think of AI as like the Google of old, where you used to click in a question and then you have to read through 20 different websites to find the information. And it's like, oh, and you spend so much time just scrolling through and clicking on this website and then going away and then clicking on another one. But AI has read all those websites. It's listened to every YouTube clip. And so when I ask it a question, it gives me an answer straight away from all the available information if I'm asking for that information specifically. So it's only giving me what I want, I guess, in that sense. So it's validating the information that's useful. And to move up 1 point on a scale of delight, what would make things better in the middle of the night? Next. Write a poem for a 7-year-old girl using this list of gratitude points. And I listed all the points that she had said, those 50 things. So here's the poem. So many things. I'm thankful for the things I do, like helping others. Yes, it's true. My family, friends, and pets so sweet. Rusty and Rocky make life complete. So those are her pets, and it's named them, and it's put Chat GPT, or in this case, has put them into a poem. I love the food from near and far, supermarkets and the warehouse stars. At school, my teachers help me grow. They teach me all the things I need to know. Our bank keeps money safe and sound, and our great planet spins around. So she's grateful for the bank, she's grateful for the planet. I'm grateful for my health each day, that I can jump, run, dance, and play. For sports and equipment, toys and books, colouring pages with creative looks, puzzles, fidgets, art supplies, and my heart values help me rise. So its heart values was her school values, I think, in the thing that's what they have here and there. So it just carries on another way of doing a poem and using her creative lists or people's creative lists into things. Then I said, make a poster suitable for an 8-year-old that describes the things that help them keep calm. So this is the things they have. Have calm Lockie in the middle, I said to AI. Include pictures of things like bottle flipping. If you remember that first picture I showed you, the bottle flipping, sleeping, lollies, basketball, deep breathing, hugs, counting, exercise. This takes all the fun out of me looking on Google and the child picking the pictures that suit their poster. But I just thought, well, let's give this a go. Lego and drawing are the other things that help them be calm. So this is what it said. Have these sorts of things. Shooting hoops helps me be strong. Sleeping. So this is what Chat GPT just came up with this list. And then putting into a poster. There it is. Calm Lockie in the middle. Sleeping, bottle flipping, lollies. Original artwork, I think. Lego. It's pretty amazing how it comes up with this stuff. And then I said, oh no, I want it as a landscape. So, oh, okay, let's do it as a landscape. That sort of stuff. Now, here's an interesting one. I also typed in to X the same thing. And so this is what X gave me. A little bit more realistic. Here's the calm Lockie with the bottle flipping and the basketball and the colouring things. And it gave me 2 options as well. So here's another one that X gave me. So this is calm Lockie. You didn't put calm Lockie in the middle, but maybe you can add that. I can add that myself. So those are the things so X came up with a different type of picture. So it's all AI generated. For you to go back to that one. I should have had, so going right back to the start, where's that one with calm Lockie? So that's the one we made together. And then AI came up with this one and this one. Other things I've done with AI as well is doing storybooks. So this was a storybook for, and I've changed the name, Alice. And it was about her being brave in this story and looking after a dog. So I've used Chat. I think I used Snapchat for the cartoon pictures and just changed them into the book. So this is her in the story and just cutting and pasting it into different scenes in the backgrounds and putting it into her story with illustrating it. So she's in the story, and these are her pictures of her, cartoon version of her, with her friend as well. And they have explored lands and solved a problem and become friends. All that sort of stuff. And so there's another fun way of using ChatGPT to write a story for this girl. Here's another one with Ivy. I just saw her this morning and she gave me permission to put this into the slideshow. So this is a story of her with her gratitude poem. So I'm Ivy, I'm grateful. Oops. All right, go back. Things keep covering up the pages. I'm grateful, oh so grateful for all the blessings that brighten up my day. I'm thankful for my house, and let's put it in bold. So ChatGPT actually put her list of gratitude things in bold so she can clearly see them, and it's just written into a poem, and we've made this into a book for her. And it just again reinforces all the things that she's grateful for, but doing it again all over again. So it's creative and switching on those creativity juices in her brain to read it and to enjoy it and to see that as part of it. This is another one that I got Chat GPT. It wrote a poem about anxiety, and this was a girl that I was working with, and it put anxiety as a little wriggle bug. So there once was a worry that wriggled and squirmed, it whispered and twisted, it wriggled and wormed. It told little stories that made her feel small, but she wasn't so little, not really at all. And so it's illustrated this for her, and she says, I need to talk to this worry. This in the story, ChatGPT made this up. I need to talk to that worry and tell it that it's not to take control of my life, and I'm in control. So there's another part of it. She sits down with the little squirmy worry and talks to it, and she starts a new day, because worry does keep people safe. It's not. Of course, you'd be worried about that. I remember another girl who was worried about running the cross country and not winning it was her worry, or not even finishing it. And I said, of course you'd be worried about that, even though it was sort of the Olympics last year, I think. And she said, yeah. I said, even the ones who run in the Olympics, they get worried. And you know what they do with that worry? They channel it into energy to help them perform better. And what would you notice if you were to do that? And how would people know that you were using your worry, your anxiety, to help you run better? And she talked about all these things. Anyway, the cross country was that afternoon, and she won it by about 50 meters. And it's just kind of, there was a thumbs up moment where she was really nervous in the morning, and then we had that conversation and talked about it in the afternoon. Okay, so I'm going to unshare. Is there any questions? I'm going to open up the chat. Externalizing, yes, that's right. Externalizing things, making it right. Oh, the fourth slide. Which one was that? I can, if you put in I'll put my email in there, and if you click me an email and ask for the slideshow, I'll send you the whole slideshow. That'll be probably easier than doing that. So, just go to use one. That's my email address. So if you flick me an email, I can send you the slideshow. I'm very happy to do that. Is there any questions, any comments people have? I'm sure that I was sort of thinking this could turn into a big debate of how evil AI is. I'm definitely not not going there. But if you've got a comment, then please do.
Hi, Matt. This is Gil Green.
G'day,
And
Gil.
I just want to say I've just started playing around with AI to learn it.
Yes.
So I'm really impressed with the creativity, what you've done with it. I see a lot of possibilities, positive possibilities with
Absolutely.
AI, with clients, and from a solution focused perspective. So thanks for doing this work, and thanks for sharing it tonight or
No, that's
today.
cool. No,
Today where you
yes,
are, tonight where
today,
I
yeah.
am.
Yeah, that's right. No, absolutely. And it is about just reinforcing their creativity. It's engaging the brain, I think. And even though it's taking away, I think you could say it's taking away some creativity, but it's actually, let's flip it around and actually no, I think it is adding so much more to it's there, and it's got to be used, and it's not going away. In fact, it's funny that
Right,
you Google things now, and it's the first answer is a AI answer, and then you've got all the
mhm,
websites. So
right,
Google's now using AI too. All right,
right.
I'm
It's
gonna
not going away.
yeah. Okay, I'm gonna share. It's just I need to prepare this slightly. So to find, yeah, there's that. Um, I'm gonna show you my screen and show where I'm using the AI engines. So it's easiest to just share my screen rather than the actual part. So share desktop. So this is where you're going to see all yourselves. Is it? Are you looking at are you seeing Calm Lockie on your screens? Yep. Thank you for nodding, Gil. You're at the top of my list. Okay, so this is the posters that I said. This has got the list of things with all that stuff. So I just typed in that. So I'm going to go to a new search here. I'm just going to think of someone I worked with this morning. So let's go. So as this is right. As a SF counsellor, write a poem for a boy who has been dealing with bullies. Just use that as a general, who's been dealing with bullies. I'm just going to grab his notes here. So let's see. He makes up answers beforehand to help ignore their comments. I would usually be doing dictation, so with this, it's a lot faster. Their comments and talks to adults and his teachers. What else does he do? I thought this was profound. He finds that listening to their, I'll say, taunts stops him from being unique. I thought, wow, that was cool. Where did he get that? It was just nice there. So anyway, I'm going to say write a short poem. Let's put that in there as well. Short poem. Brave Like Me, a solution-focused poem. So this is how quick it is. If you see that, it's all done. Bang, 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 bang. I used to hear the words they said. They buzzed like bees inside my head. But now I've got a different plan. I chose to be the greatest fan. I wrote down answers smart and strong to help me when things feel all wrong. I tell the teachers, talk it through. That's what brave and wise kids do. Their taunts don't touch the heart I keep. Their noise won't steal my chance to leap. I'm bold, I'm kind. I'm meant to be a boy who walks in being me. So let them talk. I will not bend. I've got my voice. I've got my friends. Their words don't write my story's end. I'm just beginning. Watch me send a message clear to all to see. No bullies louder than brave like me. Give him a clap. What a cool little thing. And if I said that, some of the things he said as well is bully is bait. That's what he said. He said when they're just trying to bait me to reply and get involved. And so they're doing that. And so what I say is, sorry, I don't eat tuna. It was just this random thing that he says to stop them from bullying. They walk away because they go, what? It's just one thing. So here we go. So now I could say, write it in the style of Dr. Seuss. Yep. Here we go. Sure, here's a Dr. Seuss style of a poem, playful, rhythmic, and empowering. There once were some kids who would grumble and glare, who would whisper and giggle and point and just stare. They'd mutter mean things like, you're not cool or tough. but I've learned to ignore all that bully brain stuff. I've got a few answers tucked safe in my head. I practice them calmly before going to bed. When bullies start buzzing, I don't shout or cry. I just think of my plan and I walk right on by. So I'm not going to read the whole thing. It could be death by PowerPoint type thing. But you see this, if I just cut and paste this, and you can easily click down here and then copy it into a book, and then I put pictures around it, and I can ask Chat GPT to do a book actually. Make it into a, I think it only does one page at a time. Picture book. Here we go. Great idea. 32-page illustrated book. Page 1, page 3, 4, 5, 6. And then it'll probably get to the end of this. Okay, so it's giving me the page orders and how to do that sort of thing if it was 32 pages with all that. Would you like me to format into a printable PDF mock-up and create simple illustration concepts? Yes. I'm not sure whether it's actually going to do the pictures, is it? What's encourage about how it promotes resilience, seeking help, and staying true to yourself. So there's all that sort of stuff. It hasn't actually got pictures, but I mean, if I played around and carried on doing this, what I was going to do, go back to this, go back to the top. I'm going to copy that same thing, copy, and I'm going to go to Grok. So here's my Grok account. And let's see what this one comes up with. Brave boy, you stand so tall and true. Bullies' words can't dim the spark in you. With clever answers, you turn their taunts away. Talking to teachers, you seize the day. Their noise tries, so very different. Again, this is the first time I've really done this, comparing. Their noise tries to hide your special light, but you shine bold, unique, and bright. Keep being you. Let your heart sing, for your courage makes you a wondrous thing. What a nice short poem. So in the style of Dr. Zeus, same thing. Oh, brave young lad, in a world so grand, you face those bullies with a wave of your hand. Their taunts and their teasers, they try to be tough, but you've got smart answers. Oh, that's quite enough. You chat with your teachers, you tell grown-ups too. With a skip and a hop, you know just what to do. So, dum, 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 in the style of Dr. Zeus. So just, you can have lots of fun and with doing those sorts of things as well. So that was just me showing a quick example. If anyone, I'm going to unshare now. So someone's asked a question where I'm using this in session, and good question. So I do it in session quite often. Yeah. They might ask about it, or I'll say, oh, do you want to see this using AI? And it becomes a real part of it. It's a connecting process as well. It enhances that relationship that we have with the clients. So it is definitely fun to do in session, and they see it actually happening and using it. There's one school I work in where they've blocked AI, and so I have to go on my hotspot to do that and do the same thing, because they're not wanting kids to use AI in the sense of for their schoolwork. I'm using it in my therapy work, so it's a bit different. I tried it with teens. Yes, I've done it with adults. We've done there was an adult I did a gratitude list with just last year, it would have been. And I said, oh, let's put this into a rap, because he was into rap, this 30-year-old. And probably about 30 years old, late 20s. And he put in a rap, and he got me to text it to him afterwards, and he was going to practice it and learn it. And and be more grateful in the things that he was doing as well. So that was cool. Yeah. So in adults, actually, I think I've done this when it's just like I'm showing you right now. I get all enthusiastic and excited about, oh, let's look at this as a Dr. Seuss style and put this into a Dr. Seuss poem. And they're like, they would have grown up with Dr. Seuss. And so it's quite fun to do that as well. And they see it actually unfold, and maybe they haven't used AI that much. There was actually a lady that I was working with as well, who was really, this is just this year, actually earlier this year, really anxious about her son. She's an older woman, maybe in early 70s. And she's really anxious that her son was going to kill himself. She'd had a son previous to this who'd killed himself, and she had another son who's struggling with suicidal tendencies. And so she's very anxious about this. And she's, how do I not be anxious? That was her first question, her best hopes in the first session. And we had 2 sessions. And I think in the first session, I talked to her. She's asking about self-help. She said, when I was asking her, what has she tried so far? That's one of my build-up questions. What has she tried so far to improve things, to make things better? Once I've asked her best hopes and the signs of things changing, what she tried already, what's she doing currently? And she said she was reading lots of self-help books, and she was reading internet and things like that. And I threw into the conversation, have you tried using AI? And her face lit up, and she said, I just had a conversation this morning with a friend about using AI. And that's really interesting that you suggest that. And I said, well, it's how you ask the question. I said, if you ask from an expert counselor's perspective, solution-focused counselor's perspective, how would I work through not being worried about my son killing himself when he lives so far away and that sort of stuff? And she came back into the second session. She goes, I actually had a conversation with AI. So she got this advice, and then she said, but how do I do it? Or something like that. And the AI answered those questions as well. And she said, give me and then the AI says something like, would you like a 5-step plan to da da da? And she said, yes, I would like that. And so having that conversation as well with AI, but yeah, like it didn't stop her from coming back again. So, and she's, that's a kind of thing. I want to do myself out of a job. I can't see these people for 167 hours, and the 1 hour that I see them, 168 in a week, is if there's tools out there that can help, then I'm going to encourage them to use them. It's like going and visiting their friends and having a coffee with their mother, or calling people. It's having a conversation with AI as well can be helpful as well. That's what I would say. Any other questions or comments? We're about to stop.
Can I just make a comment, Matt? Just to, if people are interested. So Matt works in my school. I'm the principal of the school, and Matt's not always there. So when I had one of my little darlings blow a foo-foo valve, and Matt wasn't there, I was able to go and quickly grab the book that Matt had done, the storybook that Matt had done with my child, and sat down with him, and we went through the book with him. And boy, did that change him, because it wasn't just something he had worked with his counsellor with. It was something that actually the adults in his life were interested in. And so I was able to defuse a whole scenario of this kid really going off. And then he wanted to take it home and share it with his caregivers. He lives with his grandparents. And so he then took it home and shared it with his grandparents. And to be honest, since that day, we've had a little bit of a breakthrough, and this kid's not so angry anymore, because he realised not just Matt cares about him, but the school cares about him. And his grandparents saw through the book a different side of him, saw not just the angry boy at home and the angry boy at school, but actually there's some really neat things about their grandson. There's some really neat things about this kid that actually they were in such a bubble with him that it was nice to see outside of that bubble. So being able to use that book without the person like Matt, the counsellor there, has been really beneficial. So I just wanted to share that there's other uses other than that counselling session that a solution-focused counsellor can do. So thanks, Matt, for that.
Awesome. No, I hadn't heard that story, so that's exciting. And It does fit with what Linda was just saying in the previous workshop. She was talking about wonderfulness, and one of the questions she said, what would your caregivers, what wonderfulnesses would your caregivers like to, like, what would they share? So that was those wonderfulnesses that they see outside what the counsellor sees. Tell me about what your teacher sees, those wonderful things as well. Yeah. Cool. Anybody else?
Matt, if you haven't done it or thought about it, I would suggest that you write a paper on doing this for the Journal of Solution Focused Practices.
Oh, it's very encouraging. I've just done something. I've written a chapter in a book that might be, I'm not sure whether it's going to be included or not, with John Hendon about trauma, and I put a section in there about using AI, which is similar to what I've just said today. So if it doesn't get printed there, then I thought I'd definitely share that chapter with Mark. Yeah, that'd be good. Thank you for the encouragement. Cool. All right, I'm going to stop recording. Is there any other questions quickly before I stop?
Yeah, one last thing, Matt. I'm presenting tomorrow, and at the beginning it was, I need your help to revolutionize education, using an acronym that I came up with, but between the submission and now, it's become a lot of AI. So I'm right on board with you, like using it in session, out of session, more about short stories, as opposed to poems, but love it. Gonna definitely incorporate this into my work too.
Nice. Very encouraging. Yeah, cool. All right. Sign up to Joe's presentation tomorrow, everyone, now. Go and see it. All right. I'm going to stop recording.